Some crimes leave behind more than victims. They leave secrets, unanswered questions, and mysteries that refuse to disappear. Welcome to Dark Case Diaries. Join us as we uncover true crime stories, shocking investigations, and the hidden truths behind some of the world's most fascinating cases. Let's begin.
Today, we're going to objectively unpack the chilling true story of Wade Wilson. You might know him by the name the media gave him, the Deadpool killer. We're going to track his behavioral escalation, starting all the way back from a highly privileged upbringing, and follow the dark, incredibly calculated path that eventually led to a tragic, totally senseless double murder. To really grasp the gravity of this case, we have to start right in the thick of it. Picture this. It's October 7, 2019, and the state of Florida is about to uncover an absolute nightmare. On that day, Wade Wilson makes a phone call to his biological father, Steve. Out of nowhere, Wade drops this terrifying confession. He says, exactly, "I did something I cannot take back. I am a killer." But you have to wonder, who did he kill and why?
Section 1. Privilege and Delinquency. To understand how he ever got to that horrifying phone call, we really need to rewind to his youth.
Now look at this contrast, because it's honestly mind-boggling. Wade was adopted as a baby by the Wilson family in Tallahassee. They were wealthy, progressive, and incredibly loving. I mean, they gave him literally every advantage a kid could ever ask for. But despite having this amazing support system, Wade just rebelled. By high school, he was already deep into drug use, petty theft, breaking into cars, and get this, he was even expelled for deliberately starting a fire in a high school bathroom. It's like a puzzle where the pieces just don't fit, right? Handed every advantage, yet consistently gravitating toward chaos.
Which brings us to Section 2, a history of violence. As he moved into adulthood, things didn't get better, they escalated.
This timeline right here chills you to the bone. It outlines his horrifying, documented pattern of abusing women. It's tough to look at, for sure, but absolutely crucial for understanding his mindset. Back in 2015, he narrowly escaped kidnapping charges just because of a lack of concrete evidence, which seemingly emboldened him. Fast forward to early 2019, he brutally chokes and ties up his girlfriend, Kelly Matthews, right inside her own car. And shortly after they broke up, he manipulates and violently assaults another woman, a single mom named Melissa Montanez. This guy was a predator, plain and simple, hiding behind a charismatic mask.
Moving on to Section 3, the double murder. All of this documented violence was just setting the stage for what would happen next.
Okay, stick with me here because this timeline moves incredibly fast. It's the night of October 6th. Wade is hanging out at the Buddha Bar in Fort Myers using a fake name, JR. He ends up meeting 35-year-old Christine Melton and her friend. They party and eventually head back to Christine's house, but Wade doesn't go to sleep. Instead, he cold-bloodedly waits for Christine to fall asleep around 6 a.m. Once she is completely 100% vulnerable, he strangles her to death. No provocation, nothing.
And he doesn't stop there. Immediately after leaving Christine's body, he steals her black Nissan. Still literally covered in blood, he drives straight to his ex-girlfriend Melissa's spa. In broad daylight, he violently attacks her, trying to drag her into the stolen car. Melissa fights for her life, and honestly, the only reason she survives is because her friend Amy steps in, acts like an absolute hero, and dials 911, which forces Wade to run away.
Tragically, though, the worst was yet to come. Between 9 and 10 a.m., he's driving the stolen car through Cape Coral and spots an innocent stranger, 43-year-old Diane Ruiz. She's just walking to work. Wade pulls over, plays innocent, and asks her for directions to a nearby school. He manipulates her kindness just to get her in the car. The second she's inside, he chokes her, shoves her out onto the road, and then, inexplicably, runs her over. Not once, but between 10 and 20 times.
Fleeing the scene of his second murder, Wade goes to a friend's print shop to confess, and then he just randomly breaks into an empty house. Inside, he showers, makes himself some popcorn, yes, popcorn, and casually calls his biological dad. It's on this call that he brags about running over Diane with this unimaginably remorseless phrase, "I ran her over until she was spaghetti." No guilt. Zero. Just a disturbing sense of pride.
But thankfully, this is where the rampage ends. Showing immense moral courage, his biological parents, Steve and Candace, make a truly agonizing but heroic choice. While Steve keeps Wade talking on the phone, Candace is secretly texting his exact location to the police. Within moments, U.S. Marshals swarm the house, and he has no choice but to peacefully surrender.
Section 4. Justice for the victims. Now we hit the trial phase, where the focus finally shifts to Christine and Diane. But there's a really bizarre anomaly we have to talk about first. While he's sitting in jail waiting for his trial, getting massive white supremacist tattoos on his face, and getting caught trying to smuggle drugs, by the way, this crazy online phenomenon happened. You really have to ask yourself, how on earth does a convicted killer gain thousands of devoted fans?
It's almost impossible to believe, but thousands of people, mostly women on TikTok, started sending him love letters. They actually raised over $40,000 for his defense. These supporters completely bought into his wild, constantly changing stories. They blamed everything on mental health, while Wade himself was out there falsely claiming some underground trafficking ring framed him for the murders. Just absolute delusion.
Well, the prosecution wasn't having any of it. They systematically dismantled all those absurd defenses by proving premeditation. As we know, premeditation proves criminal intent. Wade's own recorded confession, where he admitted to waiting for Christine to fall asleep, plus the fact that police found Diane's phone inside Christine's stolen car, that proved beyond a shadow of a doubt that these were calculated, intentional acts of malice. He wasn't framed, it wasn't an accident. The trial itself only lasted 3 days. After the guilty verdict came in, the court listened to some truly devastating victim impact statements. Christine's cousin Samantha talked about how much Christine adored her nieces and nephews. And Diane's son bravely stood up and spoke about the emptiness of going through life without his mom, there to celebrate his achievements. After taking all that heartbreak in, the judge handed down the ultimate punishment under Florida law, the death penalty.
I want to leave you with this final thought today. As one observer put it, this monster won't be harming anybody anymore. But while no verdict, not even the death penalty, can ever bring back Christine and Diane, we really have to ask ourselves, does this final sentence actually offer closure when we're staring down the terrifying reality of calculated sociopathy? It's a heavy question, right? And one that definitely lingers long after the gavel falls. Thanks for joining me for this explainer. I'll see you next time.
And that's the story behind this shocking case. What do you think really happened? Was justice served, or are there still unanswered questions waiting to be solved? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this investigation, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a new case from Dark Case Diaries. Until next time, stay curious, stay alert, and remember, every case has a secret. Thanks for watching.